Everything's functioning, including... Yeah. Oh, why did I say it? You just froze. Why did I say everything's functioning? And then Josh went kaput. Hello and welcome to ETTO's Catch Up. I'm Will.
I'm Josh.
And on the only show nobody wants you, Sonic.
We're going to watch Jade Runner 2049.
Ooh, that's a good pun.
Thank you.
That's a great pun. There's
Better than a different one that came up.
There's no other puns surrounding the word Jade.
Definitely not. The hell, internet. Why was that the first thing? Anyway,
it's the first
no
thing,
one will ever know.
Yeah, it's the first gag anyone ever thinks of. Welcome to the ETTO's Catch Up. This is where we catch up and talk about news and cues and rec stuff. But first, we're going to catch up. Josh, we were talking before. We both had incredibly busy weeks. Why don't you start us off with your busy, crazy week? Yeah.
There just wasn't much, not much happened. But then I did remember I went to a concert.
That's cool.
Which I messaged you about, told you about. I went to see a band called Polyphia. It was awesome. It was so good. So they're like an instrumental, like kind of heavy rock band. Sometimes listening to them almost sounds like you're listening to live dubstep.
Yeah.
The very cool thing was, I don't know if we talked about it when we saw Ballpark. We didn't really talk about our seats and stuff at Ballpark because you did your On the Move pod.
Yes.
Which was very fun to listen to. When we got there, we went upstairs to like a balcony area. And we managed to get right to the front very easily and quickly. But there was a sectioned off seating area with like chairs and stuff.
The only seats in the venue.
Totally, 100%. And we were like, can we sit there? Because we're so close to the front. Can we? But they were, for whatever reason, some sort of VIP section or whatever.
Yep.
I went with a mate of mine from my old work, from Big Ant Studios. He now works for Playside. And his sister works for like a touring management company. And so she just gets tickets to all sorts of shows. And one of the bands that they manage is Polyphia, an American band. America's band, as one of the guys kept saying. We are Polyphia, America's band.
What does that mean, man?
What does that mean? The person at the door was like, just so you know, there's a section upstairs for you guys. And I was like,
oh, I know.
I think I know what that is. I was like, hell yeah. Yeah, so we just went straight up the front and there was just no one in those seats. I think we were the people that we were like, how did they get those seats?
Yeah.
And then a mate of mine who I knew was going, just messaged me on Instagram and was like, is this you? And he'd taken a photo of me at the seating area from downstairs. It was just like straight back up. And I could not see him.
Yeah.
I could like, based on the photo, I'm like, I know where you're standing and I do not know where you are.
Amazing.
It was really weird. If anyone wants to look up Polyphia, I recommend probably the song that is least the sound of the rest of their music. In a way, it's similar, but they use an acoustic guitar for like one song and then electrics for everything else.
Yep.
But Playing God by Polyphia. Poly, Polyphia.
Song about Morgan Freeman.
That's right. From it's about acting.
From Evan Almighty.
That's it. Instrumentally, of course. Phenomenal musicians. Because it's all about the guitar melodies and stuff. Cool. Very, very cool show. They even collaborated. Their final song on their latest album is a collaboration with Steve Vai, who's one of the like big 3 electric guitarists of the world. Yeah, cool. Like, have you heard of like Joe Satriani?
I've heard the names. They all sound like names.
Yeah, they're sort of the guys in terms of an electric guitar leading sort of like instrumental rock music.
Yeah, cool.
The lead guitarist has like a YouTube channel or is on YouTube.
Yeah,
where he just shows the tab for the music and shows you how to play it. But it's like, this music is too hard. Like, you can get away with doing this because so few people will be able to play it that he can just give out his music for free. So we were talking about it. We're like, feel like he's kind of trolling the internet. Just being like, you can play it too.
Play along with me. Yeah.
Piss off, man.
No.
Not fair.
God.
So good.
Very fun. I've been to so many events. And
That you forgot about some.
Yeah, I forgot about them. The first one was Indiana Jones. When I went and saw that, I didn't talk about the experience
So
of
good.
that, which was
You didn't. Yeah.
at the State Theatre. I bought tickets. My dad and I. It was awesome. They gave away free hats. We got free Indiana Jones hats.
So good.
Which
Like
is very
the
cool.
hats.
Well, they're fedoras. They're from Zing. They're probably only like worth $50 or something, but they're cool.
Sure.
Dad loves
Still
it.
cool? Still
Dad's
cool?
like, I'm gonna wear this when I'm an old man. I'm like, when is that then? But everyone was wearing it. It was very fun. And when we got in, a message came up that was like, please remove your hats, which was very funny.
That's great.
And then Natalie Tran walked out, not friend of this show, but friend of Back Pocket. And she was like,
Cool.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the City Film Festival's closing night awards. That's right. Some of you probably bought tickets thinking you were just seeing Indiana Jones. You also get an hour-long award show. And you could just feel the whole room go, what? Because nowhere on the ticket did it say that. Nowhere on the online booking did it say that.
Okay.
The show started at 8, which means the film started at 9. It was fucking annoying.
That sucks. What the heck?
Real rough way to like, you could feel the room. And like, cool. So City Film Festival, do awards, lots of cool indies and stuff that got played, and there was lots of very excited people that got awards, and that's lovely. But not here. Like, do it in front of one of the indies. Well,
Yeah.
thinking about that, it's a weird thing to say, but one of the individual films.
Yeah. Don't surprise people
Yeah.
that are excited to see
A
like
blockbuster.
a hugely anticipated film advanced screening. Like
It was
know,
wild.
the follow-up to a movie that, to a series that hasn't had a movie in 15 years or whatever.
Yeah.
The heck?
Like, it's because we ran to get there. We could have gone to Grilled. We had an hour and a half to, like, eat food. It was bullshit.
So annoying. You should have left.
I know, we
Been like,
were
"Alright,
thinking it, but it was that
dinner
thing of,
time."
like, we could get up and leave, but when does this end?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you don't know how long it goes for.
The awards, which were all on the piano that was there, were like in these kind of shapes, like little star patterns, and they look like the Barbie icons, like the Mattel logo.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and
cool.
Dad and I walked past one of the posters and was like, don't like. I'm like, what? And he's like, it's giving me PTSD. It's making me think of those bloody awards.
The best. He's ruthless.
He's so good. And then that finished, and then like the head of Sydney Film Festival came out and did a little speech, and it was very funny because they were kind of rolling out different people to announce the awards and stuff. And at the end of his speech, he's like, "And we have a little message from Harrison Ford, so I want to introduce you to the star of the film, Harrison Ford." And walked away, and you could hear murmurs, and then he ran back to the mic. He's like, "It's a video message. I need to stress that. This isn't."
Yep.
And then when
Yep.
the video message came up, thinking everyone in the room knows Harrison Ford because they love the man and know the type of person, the video message comes up and it's just this for like no one had it played for 5 seconds. It's just the most sleepy looking tired man, and everyone lost their shit. So it was very fun. That like brought the
great.
mood back, and everyone was happy to watch the movie. But
Awesome. Okay.
it was a rough start.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah,
Man. It's like,
right.
You're here to see a movie.
Yeah.
But some kids have put on a little performance.
Yeah.
And they're doing, I don't know, a short excerpt for
Yeah.
an hour of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Sick.
Enjoy.
No, go away.
I don't want to see that.
So I forgot about that.
I like it.
Now I remembered it. Shall we remember some news?
Let's remember some news. I don't remember it.
What's happening in the news?
What is happening in the news? Well, to commemorate Wolong Final Dynasty coming to Xbox,
Sick.
Microsoft have created a special custom controller. Xbox often do this. They
do
often release custom controllers. Like they've done the super clean looking Starfield controller. that did like the cool sort of messy but still freaking awesome looking Forza controller.
Barbie.
But the Barbie controller, it's very cool. I think I will buy one of those for my fiance who loves Barbie. Not the movie though. Well,
we'll see.
She longs for the golden age of Barbie movies. That time has passed.
I don't know. I still reckon if this movie does well, like as a franchise, that it won't continue the like real world aspect. It'll continue Barbie having movies, and so it'll just be Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling in like genre films. So the next one is like a princess film starring them.
Did you see the movie?
No. No one saw the movie yesterday. It's
right. Okay. Cool,
it was just it was two events. There was a red carpety thing that we were at, and then there was another red carpety thing where everyone was just drinking, and it was a press event. So they had two, and
That's really odd.
And then they also went to Bondi and like made a pool look like Barbie's pool on the day before. So they just did 3 events. I don't know why.
So strange.
A month before.
That's bizarre. That's so strange. Anyway, back to Wolong's controller. So Microsoft made a Wolong Fallen Dynasty controller made of actual jade.
Wow.
The person. No, the stone.
Oh no. That's so much patron money.
So the controller was made by a Jade craftsman, Andy Chi. Wow. Who said, if I can make this, I needed to read this a couple of times to actually understand. If I can make a very exquisite jade product as a jade worker and people will preserve it for a long time or permanently, I could think of nothing to be prouder of.
A controller.
Yeah. So he's basically like, if I can make a controller that people will put on display and it'll last a while, that's cool.
My job is done.
I'm pretty stoked with that. Yeah. Which is like, that's a sweet way to think of your work. He separated the controller shell into 8 pieces to put it together. But after spending almost a week cutting 2 of them, he discovered cracks in them. So had to like start over a few times. So I can't imagine how expensive it must be to get good at this craft. It must suck because you got to constantly buy, I would assume, relatively expensive stone. Like it's not like diamond, but I would imagine jade is not cheap.
So a gram of jade ranges between $5 and $7,000.
A gram?
Yeah.
Jeez. That's very small.
It's
even crappy
breadth as well.
Even crappy quality jade being $5 for a gram.
A gram,
That's so small.
Yeah, and a kilogram is between 5,000 and 7 million.
For how much?
For a kilogram. That's a lot of jade.
A kilogram. Okay, that's a bit, but still. Yeah. To be like a worker in it, to be able to make that much, like this must be a freaking expensive controller.
Yeah.
He said, "From my mistake, I started many, many times." That was one of his other quotes.
That's very. He sounds like a sweet man.
He does. I want to look him up. If that's him, that does look like the sweetest man. As I said, Microsoft do this a lot. And one of the other ones at the end of the article that I was reading said, back in April, Microsoft also announced a controller for, I think it was like World Day or something.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's made partly of reclaimed CDs, water jugs, and other Xbox controller parts.
Amazing.
So it's a recycled one. But
yeah, cool.
If there's a controller made of reclaimed CDs and water jugs.
Yeah. And old
water
controllers.
Jugs. It's just green. It looks very similar to the Jade controller.
Wow, what a waste of Jade. Should just made it with CDs.
That's it. No, this is the recycled one.
Yes, it looks like Jade.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Just true. CDs.
True, yeah. You could have just said it was Jade.
You just made a heavy controller for nothing.
That's right. Yeah, imagine using it. He was saying like he had to adjust a lot of things while making it so that the controller could withstand prolonged use.
Yeah.
Like no one's using this thing, man. Like this is going to be in a case at Microsoft.
Yep.
Like, no one's going to be
Phil's
using
just
this for
gonna
a long
look at
time.
it. It's just for him.
Yeah, like no one's going to be, playing COD with it a lot.
No. And sweating all over your Jade.
Yeah, that's right. That was a little foreshadowing for my next event. My next event.
Oh, just
Every news is an event. Will, what is your event? What's our next event?
Well, we're going back to the courtroom. If you do,
Amazing.
Feel like it.
Mine briefly will as well. So
yeah,
here
good.
you go.
Let's go back to the courtroom. Back to the FTC thing. Before we get there, though, in an interview with Bloomberg, Sony COO Suji Usumi was asked about the possibility of Microsoft buying Sega. Mm-hmm. He replied, "No, not now." Which is what you say when your mum's busy. It's like, I want it, mum, not now. Fuck off.
Not now.
Which is a weird response. He did go on. He did say more.
Great.
We are very close with Microsoft and have a great relationship with its management team. Microsoft particularly has a high regard for us, which is just not true. You're Sega.
No one has a high regard for Sega.
No.
No one cares that much.
It's just, it's a very funny thing that someone, Bloomberg was like, hey, Microsoft buying a lot of people. They ever talk to you? And he's like, they like us. It's like, no, they don't.
It's insane to me that someone is the CEO of Sega.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Yeah. Making Sonic Superstars.
I guess.
They also have because they're kind of with Capcom, they also have the fucking Inshin games and stuff. Like, they do those too. That's all kind of under their umbrella. But it does just feel like Sega just makes Sonic. The FTC thing is that during the case that's currently ongoing with Microsoft, the FTC brought up that in 2020, Microsoft considered acquiring Sega in order to bolster the Game Pass thing. So basically to just have all the Sonic games just sitting there in Game Pass. They were also considering Niantic and Square Enix. So that's interesting.
Get Pokemon Go onto...
Carry your Xbox.
There. So weird.
You're in the park like this. Ah! I'm going to catch them all.
Is that your fridge?
Yeah, I don't have my actual Xbox here.
That's so good. I was like, man, he's got his Xbox ready to go.
Unplugged.
No, that's a fridge.
That's a fridge. I find that very funny. That like, why didn't they buy Sega? Surely that was a cheap deal.
Surely that's like a mill, right?
Yeah,
like
that's not $69 million or whatever. Or, no, it was like billion or something. It was something stupid that they were trying to do the Activision deal. Like, just buy it. It's weird. I also just want Sonic on a free service. That would be sick.
that would be
on
cool.
Game Pass. An additional fun fact is that in 2016, Microsoft created a free, and stay with me, free and open source network operating system based on Linux. It was originally developed by Microsoft, an open compute project. With the software, it decouples network software from the underlying hardware and is built on the Switch Abstraction Interface API.
Yeah. Standard.
Yeah. Easy. It's also known, its like breakdown of its name is Software for Open Network in the Cloud, or Sonic. Microsoft already made Sonic. They made Sonic in 2016.
What? Can you do that, guys? What the heck?
They called it Sonic, so
Amazing.
there you go.
It's great. It's great.
Real time is not what I wanted. Real journalism happening on this podcast.
It's beautiful.
We get to the heart of stories.
That is beautiful. Continuing on with some FTC stuff during all of this Microsoft Activision acquisition court case.
Yep.
The FTC, PlayStation boss man Jiminy Ryan wrote a letter. I wrote a later. I'm
interesting.
Terrible at this. Wrote a letter to the FTC.
Yep.
Which FTC, of course, stands for freaking terrific corporation.
Nice. Yeah, they're great.
Great. Nice.
That's what they're called forever. Terrific.
Yeah, that's it. They're just terrific. In this letter, Jiminy stated his
name's Jiminy.
Jiminy, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Stated that around 1 million PlayStation players play COD.
That's some phlegm, man.
That was bizarre. They play COD. They play COD exclusively.
Wow.
They have one game that they play, like they own one game.
Yeah.
And it is COD. And that's all they play. on PlayStation consoles.
It's funny that he's like basically saying COD, like there's only ever been one COD, which just emphasizes the fact that all COD is the same.
It's just the same thing. Yeah. They just play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And there was a second statistic in there that stated 60 million players spend 70% of their playtime playing COD.
Jeez.
That's so much time.
What?
Like, we get bored playing a game for like 20 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
I want
we're
my
done.
game to end in 10. That's it.
Yeah, we're like, this is enough. I think except for Zelda. Mm-hmm. Zelda goes
Yeah, I
on.
love Zelda.
That's right. I'm still playing that game and I still love the crap out of it. But 70% of your time. Like, I would assume this is also like these are players that have been playing for years.
Yes. Yeah. That's gross.
Like 1 million people exclusively have consoles for COD.
No.
The article then, I was like done with that. And then I scrolled to the bottom of the article and I was like, this part's almost more interesting than those statistics. Those statistics are just like shock value.
Yes. Yeah.
The information in this letter was actually redacted when it was like meant to be like there were parts of it that were redacted. A lot of the statistics, the financials, this like 1 million players, blah blah blah, was meant to be redacted when it was released publicly. But they only used a Sharpie, and so the ink shows up through the Sharpie in the image. Yeah, and so when it was released, the internet saw it and was like, we can read this. And so all the stats for this letter that was meant to be like,
far out,
private and secret statistics of PlayStation things, like, the financials for The Last of Us 2 were in there, redacted, but now publicly released because the Sharpie effed them up and didn't redact the information well enough.
Damn it, Jim.
And whoever released the letter wasn't smart enough to be like, maybe I should redact this better. Yeah. I can see this.
Digitally redact it. You scanned it in, buddy.
Yeah. Just digitally do it. Don't just take a photo. Nah. What the heck? Absolutely insane. I thought that was very, very funny.
Jim's a fool.
That's it.
Jiminy, you fuckwit.
Jiminy. What else is Jiminy doing?
Jiminy's doing shit. Amazon Studios owns MGM Studios and all their franchises, which of course includes the Tomb Raider franchise. Now, a while ago, there was this thing about a Netflix anime Tomb Raider, which was going to have Hayley Atwell as the voice. That seems dead in the water. It's still, I looked it up, it's still, like, you can type it in, there's a link to Netflix, but there hasn't been any news since like 2020. So, some stuff happened since then. But in the meantime, it seems like instead of that, we're going to be getting a live action TV series separate to the Alicia Vikander thing. That seems dead. That's gone. This is a reboot of the franchise.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, weird. It was just us. Only we liked that thing. And it's going to be spearheaded by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who, of course, wrote Fleabag and starred in Fleabag, but also was in the latest indie and also helped write No Time to Die. So she's got some good cred to her name. Speaking of Variety, no, that's not what that says. Vanity Fair. She said, God, it literally felt like that teenager in me saying, do right by her, do right by Lara. Having worked on Bond and having worked as an actor on indie, I feel like I've been building up to this. What if I could take the reins on an action franchise with everything I've learnt, with a character I adore, and also just bring back some of that 90s vibe? So that sounds very exciting.
Cool.
And she's very right to say she kind of ticked the boxes of Lara Croft in Bond and indie. That's kind of who Lara Croft is.
She's kind of nailed it. Like, she's got the credits already.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she can pull that off, that's sick. That sounds really cool.
It's very exciting. It does sound like they're taking a leaf out of James Gunn's DC approach, though, with this article saying that there's the TV show, but there will also be upcoming movies, and the games will connect to all of that. So whoever they cast,
everything's going to connect.
Yeah, that's what they. Which means
interesting.
None of them will come out.
Yeah,
like it means that no project will happen. But in a perfect world, it's exciting because I mean, for decades, however many, probably one since the first Tomb Raider and Rise and then Shadow. I can never remember the actress, but she is perfect and should have been in movies as Lara Croft. And so it's not crazy to think whoever they cast to be the voice in a game will probably be great for live action projects.
Oh, that too,
so I'm keen for it if it ever happens, but I just feel like it won't.
Yeah, as a gamer, that's cool because we don't have that. That concept doesn't exist where TV and movies and games are all crossing over like that.
Yes.
You get minor references to things, but never to that extent. In a way, it would suck for anyone that, doesn't have time to play games or doesn't is a fan of Tomb Raider and stuff because they won't play the games. And so they're going to miss parts of this whole world. But as someone who will play all of them,
it's great
if they come out.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. That sounds sick. That sounds really, really cool.
And also, if they play the cards right, Tomb Raider doesn't need to be an ongoing story. So really, you'll just miss an adventure, and that's fine. As long as it's not an overarching thing, it's just
it's like an Indiana Jones or a James Bond. It's just almost adventure. Monster of the Week style. It's
totally
just
adventure of the week.
One off adventure. I don't know why I didn't jump to just adventure of the week. That makes a lot more sense. There's no monsters.
There's no monsters of the week,
except for Lara herself, who just murders everybody.
Look at me getting out of the water.
So cool, man. I want to experience it again.
It's so good. But it's funny you say that because also this week, of course, we got the casting of our Superman and Lois for the James Gunn universe, and they will be in the games. That is the point. So whenever we get a remake of Superman 64, it'll be that guy flying around for hoops.
Are they known entities or...
They're both fairly known. I can't remember their fucking because I don't care. But the actress is Marvelous Miss Maisel from the show Marvelous Miss Maisel, which was a show people love.
Miss Marple. So I'm just thinking the oldest lady who I think it might be dead now.
Yeah. They're going to be wheeling a corpse around as Lois Lane. They might do more with a corpse than they ever did with Amy Adams. So that's probably helpful. It's the ad read. We've got nothing to read.
We got a bit. I can shout out someone though.
Yeah, do it.
Joshy doing the ETTO's work, putting in all the effort to get our community together. Joshy, thank you so much for running the community nights, running the comic book cast. That's the one.
Yeah.
Internal event. If you want to be part of that, if you miss the comic book cast and are not part of the Discord, you can jump over to patreon.com/each their own. A couple of dollars will get you into that Discord, and you can join the loveliest corner of the internet of people in our Discord. They're so great. They're so chill, super lovely. It's been cool jumping in from time to time to see what people are doing in Zelda, as I've also been going through it. It's been very, very fun, and they're just a lovely group of people.
Yep.
I hope you enjoyed your community nights and stuff. I think they've been over the last 2 weeks, which I have been working until 10 or 11 at night. So I just haven't been able to jump in to those ones in particular.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome that they're
very good.
That Josh is still going. So thank you, Joshy, for jumping on those.
Thank you, Joshy, for still going.
You're a legend. You're a legend.
Also, thank you to anyone that's listening to this podcast that's new, because and I'll talk about the game a little bit later in the rec seg, but I was streaming Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. Temperor's Doom is what I always try to say.
Temper of Doom.
Temperors of Doom. I started streaming it at 9 and on Thursday, and Pocket was on. So we got rated by Back Pocket, which of course, that show gets about 800 people. I believe, I can't remember what type of error it was, but 800 people raiding into the stream shut down my computer. So...
Really?
Yeah. The instant the raid hit, my screen went black.
What the heck?
It was wild. I think it was it was potentially the alert system got so clogged because people were hitting follow and stuff that it just flooded and just broke my computer.
I would have thought that would have been like a raid would have been so disconnected from your personal computer.
But instantly dead.
So strange. What the heck?
I know Syntax said a bunch of letters in the chat. And I think that's the error I got. But thank you to anyone who stuck around and then watched the stream, and anyone that's followed, and anyone that's listening to the catch-up right now. Any new people from Pocket, thank you so much.
Thank you.
But that's why there was a 321% up in engagement, Josh.
That was amazing. So good.
3, 2, 1?
3, 2, 1. Yeah, I was going to say, I love that it's a nice number pattern as well.
Yeah. Thank you to
Satisfying
everyone.
thing to look at.
Nice.
Very cool.
And if you want to get even more involved in the community and you're already in that Discord, you can submit cues from Youse, and that's what we're going to check out right now. Welcome to Cues from Youse. I already said what this is. The first cue I've already grabbed comes from Dion, who I think is slightly timely to my piece of news. What franchise, movie, TV, game, book, comic, radio play? Interesting that you pulled radio play. Would you like to have a hard reset reboot? And what direction would you like to see it go? Or who would you like to see in charge? So a franchise or an ongoing thing that you'd like to see just like rebooted. Like, this isn't my answer, but I'd love the MCU to be rebooted in like 2 years. Just start from scratch. Like, I really want it to go back to basics as soon as possible. Like, I'm done. We talked about multiverse stories. I'm done with big, I want to be dark and brooding stories. Secret Invasion isn't working for me. And they need to do it because, you know, they need to do different things now because they've got so much going on. They need the projects to feel so unique. I just want to go back to singular movies about singular characters doing a thing on their own. And
that would be very cool.
That's the easy answer. I don't want to pick that. But is there anything a franchise that comes to mind, like a gaming franchise that you would like to see?
Yeah,
from scratch.
You know what should get a reboot?
Please,
you'll jump on this. Mm-hmm. I reckon we should get some new and the remake. We say this all the time.
Yeah.
Bring back Croc.
Absolutely.
Bring back Croc. Let's get a Croc series.
Yeah.
Let's get that going again. Just a nice, like, simple platformer, like just 3D platformer.
That's not shit like Kai the Kangaroo or some shit. Like, how do we get there first? Who cares about that?
We don't need that. We don't need that. We need Croc. We need Croc back.
Croc back.
I know there's rumors of a remake.
Yeah.
Who knows if that's actually going to happen?
Yep.
But let's bring back Croc.
Bring back Croc. Welcome back, Crocker. That's what they should do, and they should use the song. They should use the song in the trailer. Welcome back.
Yeah.
They should use that.
Love it. Maybe like a good reboot of Pokemon. Let's do it well this time.
Yeah, if any franchise needs to do a new direction, it's probably that one. Mm-hmm. So that wouldn't be bad. Who would?
I haven't bought a Pokemon game for a while. Like Arceus was the last one, and
there's been 7 since then.
But that was like all last year.
If you could have any game developer be playing with the reboot, like who would you like in charge of a Pokemon game?
Man. It would be crazy to see how intensely cinematic they could take it at Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Like, just get really intense. I don't know.
Ash!
It would. What was that?
Ash. Just shouting up a cliff. Ash! Ash!
Yeah, something like that. Or if we if it wanted to stay, I don't even know if this company exists anymore, but like hand it over to another company that does, I guess like Japanese stuff well and give it to like Crystal.
Yeah.
Do they even exist anymore after like acquisitions and things?
I think they're just owned by someone. I think they still exist.
Sure. Cool.
But,
Yeah, like a crystal.
Yeah.
Or a Squeenix or something.
I think the guys that are doing like the Dragon Ball game should do it, because then it would look cool.
Oh yeah.
Because the thing with the Pokemon games is they just look bad.
Yeah. Are those still cell shaded, or am I like way behind on?
No, they look like the anime. Like they just look like
cool.
the anime is moving in front of you, which is weird that the Pokemon games don't like. It's weird that they haven't embraced what the show looks like. Really,
give it to like an indie dev,
Yeah.
who is playing around with like, making stuff look like a cartoon.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of that, like your Hi-Fi Rushes and things.
Yeah,
like that.
that's true.
Or
I mean,
whatever that game was at I think it was the Nintendo thing that was like Saturday morning cartoon, like every 5 seconds.
Yeah. Hi-Fi Rush devs
give
could
it to
totally
like
do it.
Yeah, give it to them. Like that would be cool.
That'd be fun. All right,
Nice. I like
Pokemon.
it.
Fix
Done.
Pokemon. Give us one more.
Very cool. Favorite spider person costume ever. This is from Let's Do This One More Time. I'm the Discord's one and only Spider Pants.
Good. I was pointing
Love
to
it.
my massive cardboard cutout.
Yeah, nice.
That's Spider-Gwen. It's not
call.
this one, though, because I don't like that she has the chucks. I feel like they removed the one interesting thing about Spider-Gwen was the ballet slippers. And, it's a great in-world explanation for him, but that was a bit disappointing. I do like the new Spider-Gwen one because what they did was they added... So the hands have always had that nice pattern, but it goes deeper into the arms, which are quite nice. I like everything about the new Spider-Gwen one, but for the chucks. But, it's just Spider-Gwen's just so good.
Mine would be Peter Parked car. Wreck.
Welcome to the Rex Seg.
Good.
my rib just like popped for a second there. That was that hurt.
That was so low energy going into that seg.
God, that hurt. I could never have sex. I'm doing well so far. Welcome to the Rex Seg.
I hate it when you do that because I never know what to say. Oh my gosh.
We do here. We do that.
So funny.
No one does me. Welcome to the Rex Seg, where we recommend things, TV, film, games, comics. We've got them all.
Do we? Today?
I got a book. I don't have a comic.
I got a book. I got a book. Not today.
I've got them all. Starting with TV, I watched, I'm 2 episodes in, I got one more to go, the Arnold docuseries. It's very, very good. It's so self-obsessed. It's it is the most Arnold thing ever.
Did he produce it or direct it or something as well?
It's his thing. And it's all because he has a book coming out, which is just A1 sized photos. The book is this big. It's massive.
So ridiculous. I love that.
So every now and then it cuts to shots of him looking at the book. And it was only the second episode I was like, that has to be a book I'm buying, right? That's not a prop they've made for and it was a book. But
crazy.
it's got his whole life. There's things about him that I didn't know, actually sad shit, which is really interesting. But yeah, it is so it's like if anyone else was making this documentary, if someone was making it about him and not including him, they would talk about the fact that he is so stupidly self-obsessed. But because it's coming from him, it's it's nice. It's he's talking about how driven he is as a person. It's when other people look in at that, it's you fucking loser. Why? But the way he talks about it, he's I'm a little Austrian kid. If I didn't do this, I'd be a nobody. So that's why I'm so I need to win. I need to win. I need to be the best thing. And
there's something childlike about Arnold.
Yeah.
There's just always has been.
Yeah. He's
I
so
feel
sweet.
that's it's almost why I haven't seen many of them or all of them, but it's why some of the Terminator movies are so good because he's just so lost.
Yes.
And I feel like he's like that in real life too. He's just not quite sure of how humans are meant to act.
Yeah.
So he's just doing his best.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's still doing that now.
It's so good.
That's so funny.
But yeah, it's a very fun doco. But yeah, it's just
Nice.
Occasionally he's I went to this place and I got second and I thought I'm done. I could never win. And then I went to London and I got first. It's like, fucking hell. And then, and it's literally like the first episode is that. It's like, I got first, and then I went to this one, and I got third. And I went, my life is over. There's nothing for me. And it's like, it's so funny.
Still in the top 3. Like, just give it up so quickly.
But it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, he's got one of those hero's journeys where he starts at this thing, and then somehow that thread comes back in huge ways in his life. And it's really, really cool.
That's cool.
And being Netflix, being Arnie, they talk to Sylvester and Danny DeVito and James Cameron.
Awesome.
Like, everyone that could possibly be in this is in this. And it's yeah.
What did he do with James Cameron?
Terminator.
Oh, really? Is that a James Cameron thing?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea that was James Cameron.
Yep. James Cameron. And the other one was... oh, fuck. I've forgotten the other one. But there was James Cameron's got a weird filmography. He wasn't always Mr. Like, he like, Terminator's an indie film. It's a tiny movie. But even that's funny. Like, you know, it's a well-known one, so it's not too much of a spoiler. It's great when they talk about it. But Arnie was asked to play Kyle, like the other guy in that movie. And he's sitting there and he's like telling James about how great the Terminator is and how the Terminator should be played like this and it should be played like that. And he's like, seems like you know a lot about how the Terminator should be played, man. Like, maybe you should be doing that. And he's like, no, I can't be a villain. And like 3 days later, he's like, I probably should be the Terminator. Hey. Which is very funny.
That's so good.
But it's very good. It's only 3 episodes.
Cool.
Each is an hour long. So it's a very good... Yeah, it's a... Each of them is segmented into the different stages of his life. And so it's very good. Well worth a watch.
Cool.
And just quickly, there's not much to talk about. Also on Netflix, Extraction 2. The second Extraction. It's very good, but there is genuinely no story. Like, there is not a single plot in that fucking movie.
Amazing.
There's kind of 3 locations, and when they get there, you're like, well, this is all that's going to happen now is action. And it genuinely is just, the 3 acts are 3 set pieces, and that's all that happens in the movie. And the first action set piece is exhausting. Like, it is exhausting to watch in a great and horrible way. Like, I can't explain, there's a thing that happens in it, and it's just like, oh my God, stop. Like, you're impressive as shit. But it's like, please, you need to slow down.
It's too much.
It's too much, man. But it's very good, and Chris Hemsworth is very fun. And it seems like they're franchising the shit out of this. There'll definitely be a sequel to this, but there's already spin-offs and stuff in production.
Okay.
So
that's crazy. I was I was talking to a guy this week who asked me if I'd seen it, and he is our dad's age.
Yeah, good.
And he was like, "I'm very excited." I'm like, "Of course you are.
It's a dad movie.
You're a middle-aged dad." Like,
yeah, absolutely,
so good,
big time dad movie. What have you been watching?
So last week you talked about The Flash.
Yes.
That night I saw The Flash.
Didn't turn you off.
With my fiance and her housemates and one of their friends.
You said 11 o'clock?
No, surprisingly. Wow. It was like 7. We got home and I think we watched another movie.
They still fall asleep.
Yeah. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. Like, Ezra is annoyingly such a good actor in this movie.
Yeah.
The CGI of any other human being is the worst thing I've ever seen.
And sometimes them.
Yes.
And occasionally their face as well.
Yeah. It's just like, geez, like minimal effort. It seems like, I don't know, man. You sent me a like one guy who made his own scene from the final battle of No Way Home, and it looked incredible. It was like, if there were any criticisms, it was just that it was a slow sequence that should have been a fast sequence. Yeah, but that was it. It looks phenomenal. For like one person doing it, and this is like a feature film that had been made for what, like 5 years or something now. They've been working on it for so long. And every single person looks so gummy and like stretched, and like everything looked rubber. Yeah, those babies look like little rubber babies. The humans in the time, in the time space, any human looked like a rubber human being.
It is
So
just awful.
strange. So bad to look at. I don't understand how Warner Brothers has, like, you know, resources to potentially do this,
Yeah. Yeah.
but can't and don't and won't. Like, I don't get it. This was meant to be their big movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it was very, very fun. Like, yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part. Seeing some of the little cameos of, you know, Nicolas Cage being in there and stuff was just, I was itching for it. Because I think I rewatched Spider-Verse. For some reason, I ended up on his Wikipedia page.
Yep.
And just scrolling through that, that's how I found out he was in it.
Yeah, okay.
Was that he was credited on his Wikipedia page for being in The Flash.
Yeah, good.
I was like, what are you talking about? It took me a second to remember that he was meant to be.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so funny. I know you were like, do
It's
not
just
care.
weird because he's such a gummy man. Like, they're like, he was on set. And I'm like, was he?
Yeah, totally.
Are you
He doesn't
sure?
look like he would have been. He looked like he was an entirely CGI human.
Yeah.
But then seeing like original Superman, which also that I only would have known about that actor because I watched on Tubi, the free streaming service, like a 10 or 15 minute lost episode of the original Superman.
Amazing.
Which was teaching kids about Stamp Day, which was like taking their allowance to school and buying stamps, which when they're an adult, they can trade for like stocks or something. And so it's an investment in their future. And it's this Superman episode about Stamp Day. And we watched that as we thought it would be hilarious.
Yeah.
And then it turns up in a movie that we're all watching together, like, you know, 3 months later.
Yeah.
I enjoyed a lot of those little cameos. The cameo right at the end.
Can you tell me why it was happening, though? Like, can you tell me in a story sense, why did that happen?
No. I'm not sure. There was a lot of time converging. I think it was them trying to be like, multiverse. We did it. And that's it. I think that was
dumb.
it. I think it was just multiverse. Like
not a single word is said.
Yeah, they weren't even converging.
No, they were just showing you things.
Yeah. Yeah. It was entirely like fan service.
Yeah.
For people that know or care.
It is the worst piece of fan service ever made.
Yeah. And it got me. It bloody got me. Who would have thought? Who would have thought Josh would have enjoyed something?
Yeah. It's so dumb.
I had a lot more fun with it than I was expecting. Maybe I went in with an extremely low bar.
Yeah.
But, you know, I can see past a lot of the gumminess. Like, I'm just like, that was gummy. That was gross.
Yeah.
But in terms of the rest of the movie and Ezra's interaction with themselves was like great.
I mean, that's phenomenal. Yeah.
They did very well.
It's crazy.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, not great, but like, you know.
Good.
More fun than I was expecting it to be.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. On the total opposite end of the spectrum from your enjoyment of a film, this week I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom.
Oh, nice. Good.
Yeah. It's great. Loving it. Really
Good.
enjoying it.
Good.
I gave Maxine the choice last night of watching another movie. I was like, all right. She was a bit down this week. She's got some braces issues.
Yeah. Temple is an interesting movie if you're down.
It's fine. Completely expectedly, she fell asleep.
Yeah, good.
But we'll go back and we'll watch it properly. But basically, I was like, all right, we can watch an old Barbie movie. We can watch another Indiana Jones. We can watch, we can start another season of a show that we're partway through. Or, we can play what's the point and click games that I played with her?
Oh, the Sherlock Holmes ones?
Yeah, but the girl, I'm forgetting her name. Nancy Drew.
Yeah.
Play Nancy Drew.
Yeah,
what would you like to do? I want to make you as happy as possible and bring
Yeah.
your mood up. And she was like, I think I want to watch another indie.
Yeah,
Like,
good.
sick. That's
Good.
awesome. Wicked. So
Yes.
yeah, we ended up watching that. I think started falling asleep. I could feel her twitching around the dinner scene.
Oh, that's a decent amount of the movie.
Yeah, so it's like, it's about halfway. It's
Yeah.
about the halfway point.
Yeah.
When all this disgusting food is coming out, because I could hear her like, commenting on the food, and she's like, "That's so gross. That's so gross." And then,
Yeah.
oh no, I think it might have been just after that when
They're going back and forth.
they're going back and forth between
Yeah.
the rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was around then that she started to fall asleep because she made a point about like, how is monkey brains a dessert?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? What
It's
makes
cold.
that a dessert? I'm like,
It's steaming
I
cold.
said that. I'm like, it's cold.
Yeah.
It's a dessert. It's cold.
Yeah.
It's like, that doesn't make it a dessert.
Of course.
It's great. Yeah, so very good. I think I hadn't seen, because I watched Raiders with you, and
Yes.
I watched
Crusade.
with you.
Yeah.
But I had seen, I remember parts of Temple of Doom, but I don't know why or when I ever watched
Yeah.
it. But like, I think I mentioned to you one time, the thing burnt into my brain about Temple of Doom was like the dude's heart being
Yes.
removed.
Yeah.
I remember that. And when it happened, I'm like, I totally remember a bunch of this.
Yeah.
I remember parts of like the little kid trying to get the dagger out of the little
prince's
indie
hands, yeah.
toy.
Yeah.
Things like that. Like, I remember parts of this movie, but I remember
weird.
none of this movie. Like, it's
That's so odd.
strange. I have this for quite a few things we found. Also, as it was going, I know nothing of this person, but as the opening credits came up and it was like executive producer or whatever,
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy, I was like, there you go. And it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
thinking about it now, I'm like, yeah, right.
It's the
but I
bros.
think I also feel like I think I thought that she was much younger than she actually is. I think
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
she was maybe like 40
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
or something.
No, yeah,
and so
she's-
she would have been like very young to be an executive producer at the time that this movie was.
Yeah.
Well, she would have been born.
Yeah. Yeah.
She would have, very young.
Yeah.
So it was what, 84 would have been
Yes.
Temple of Doom?
Yeah,
She would have
yeah.
been, if she was born in 1980, if she was 40,
She was 40 years old.
she would have been one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she's been around.
old.
I don't know if she started with Raiders, but
you
she
go.
was definitely around for Raiders and onwards.
Yeah, cool. There you go.
Yeah. But yeah.
Because I just remember hearing her name a bunch in games now.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I guess she's part of LucasArts and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
like Temple?
yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, good.
I'm gonna see the second half again soon. But it's a cool movie. I haven't watched any of Secret Invasion yet, so I can't talk to that. And I did watch this week. It's on YouTube, but I watched a kind of a follow-up to the major interview with Mr. Beast from 2 years ago with
Oh, yeah.
Colin and Samir. So they have like a podcast YouTube show thingy.
Yep.
And they've done another follow-up now. I think he was at like 50 million or something when they did his one in 2020.
Yep.
And now he's up to 160 million or something. Like, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like, the fact that 3-4 years ago we were fighting for for PewDiePie
Yes.
to get to 100 million.
Yeah.
And then
Mr. Face just did it.
yeah, Mr. Beast has just gained like 100 million in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Something stupid, like just ridiculous. And yeah, it's the man is just as insane as he's always been. It's really funny the way he talks about himself and his success. I'm like, part of me is like, you are pretty up yourself
Yes.
in a way.
Yes.
But another part of me is like, but I feel like you've thought through it and you know
Yeah.
that you are
Yeah.
and that no one will beat you.
He's just very literal.
Yeah, totally.
He's just telling you the facts, but it's like so insane that it's like
Yeah. You're like, okay.
you're a douche, but it's like
Yeah,
it's
you-
true.
Yeah, and you know your stuff. Like
Yeah.
he is so open about all of the statistics about everything that he does and knows. Like, you know, he's straight up like, what information do you want to know about Feastables? Like, do you want to know how much we make in a year? Because I know that information. Like, he knows everything. Every part of his company, he's completely entwined in. Like, he seems to just be, it's all that. And like, he talks about his work. He's basically like, you know, he knows that he is doing too much.
Yes.
And that any normal human being other than him would die or get burnt out very, very quickly doing it. But he's just like, there's something in my brain that makes me keep going. So he's like, I wake up in the morning, I work out, because he's got like this thing with another YouTuber that he just like, they keep each other accountable for working out. And he's like, you know, so I'm losing weight and staying fit, and then I work until I go to bed. And he's like, that is my day every single day. And he's like, if I have a breakdown, I freak out for like half an hour. I watch some anime for like an hour or two, and then I go back to work. And then it's like, it's fine. And it's like, if he is actually like that, no one will beat him.
No.
Like, no. And he's like, no, basically like, he's like, I'm excited to see the next Mr. Beast in the form of someone creating a new form of content or YouTube. But he's like, what I do,
no one will replace me.
Will be able to do.
Amazing.
He's also like, all of the money that I make goes right back into everything that I do. He's like, I don't have money. Because the millions of dollars, every video is millions of dollars at a time.
Yeah.
He often loses money on his videos because he puts so much into another video that don't make that back.
Yes. Yeah.
But he's like, but then my other YouTube channels supplement that, and that's what, and Feastables and stuff, that's what pays my people. It's a super interesting interview. It's about 2 hours. I just listened to it over like a day or two while I was working. But yeah, there's something about him at the same time that's like a little bit endearing. And I'm like, I don't hate you for everything that you've said.
Yeah.
But I feel a little bit weird about it at the same time, and a little bit sorry for you and your girlfriend.
Yeah. Have a life, buddy.
Yeah, totally. Like, they said, are you ever going to get married? And he was like, if you asked me this a couple of years ago, I probably would have said no straight up.
Jesus.
But it's like, it's definitely on the cards now because I love my partner. She brings out the best in me. She encourages in me in everything I do. It's like, well, that's good at least. Like, she seems on board with it and happy enough with what he's doing.
Yeah.
But
oh my God, dude.
I hope the man's okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Have a normal life.
100%.
Good.
Yeah. That's everything I watched.
I played, I don't know much to talk about, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. It's very fun. It's everything I remembered as a kid. And like,
I was about to say, you played it before.
Yeah. Instantly picked up everything. And
what platform, what console was it?
I played it on PS2.
PS2? Cool.
And I think I was learning things about the game. Like, just the way that I was using combat is, as a kid, you genuinely button mashed and let it happen.
Yeah.
But I was like learning ways that the whip worked that I didn't know worked when I was a kid. Like,
that's cool.
Which was really fun.
It's like mechanics that you just didn't know existed.
Yeah. Oh, fucking baby boy. I didn't know how to play a video game. And so it was like stuff like you could...
It's just crazy that a PS2 game...
had mechanics.
had mechanics enough to like have things that you don't remember.
Yeah. Because like you can just press it to whip and it just whips. But if you do it, and I think if you hold it down a little bit, it whips. If they've got no weapon, it whips around the neck and pulls them. Or if they've got a weapon and you do it, it pulls the weapon out of their hand. And then there's stuff like that. The best thing about the video game is that when you get knocked around enough, if you fall down, the hat comes off and you have to pick it up. Like it has the same button prompt as an item, and so you have to go over to your hat and put it on.
That's cool. Oh, that's so good. That's like
game.
that's crazy because people were stoked and mind blown when Red Dead Redemption 2 did it. You could lose your hat and run away from it.
This has like Uncharted things where like I'm pretty sure in Uncharted people were like, whoa, you can pick up a chair or something, and in this you can pick up a chair. Like that's a thing. Like there's so much that I was doing where I'm like, this is modern games.
Yeah, that's so impressive for PS2.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's very, very cool. There's clunky shit in there. There's some jumping things that are still horrible, but mechanically it's pretty awesome. So I think I will play the rest of it on stream over time.
Yeah, cool.
But that's all I've been playing.
Nice.
Been playing anything other than Zelda?
I did actually try the Ollie Frog Toad Skater. I said last week that I wanted to jump into that.
Yep.
I feel like the demo is still out, even though Steam Next Fest is done.
Yeah.
But I was waiting for my work computer to compile a build of a game. So I was like, I'm just going to quickly jump in and do the tutorial and muck around in that while I'm waiting for that. I'm going to love that game. It looks very, very good. It's very it's basically Tony Hawk. Doesn't feel as tight as Tony Hawk. Although some things feel too tight, because there's a similar in Tony Hawk. There's like collect the letters of skate, and that's a challenge in a level. This is collect the letters OFTS, Ollie Frog Toad Skater. So they're just scattered around, but I think there's some leeway to the letters in Tony Hawk, where it's like if you're pretty damn close, then it'll give it to you. Like, there's a sphere around it, and it's fine. This one, you need to touch it. I got so close to one of the letters so many times, over and over and over again, and it just would not collect. You needed to go through the middle of that damn thing. So little things like that were kind of frustrating. But I am very keen to see what the real game would look like, because I think this demo, there was like 3 or 4 levels. There was the tutorial at the start. And then there's one other frog like scattered around in a level. I played 2 levels, so the tutorial and one other level. There's like another toad frog thing that asks you to do something for them. And it's a pretty simple task, like destroy a bunch of watermelons or something. The frog's name was Melon. And it's like, can you destroy all these melons for me? Because I can't break them. Something dumb like that. It's 2 on the nose, guys. I'm excited to see more of that game. Since there's only like one of those extra missions and collect all the letters. I'm keen to see how full those levels are. Cool. That's pretty much it. Like it was a basic demo. But yeah, I'm pretty keen. There was one point where I like accidentally fell in the water on a level. There's a skate park underwater. So you can't see it until you go underwater. Sick. So you need to accidentally fall in the water. And then there's ramps and stuff under there. It's like, that's cool. That's very cool, because it's a frog.
Do they have like a projected release date? Is it like this year, or is it just kind of, we're making a game and maybe it'll come out?
Q4.
Yeah, cool.
Q4 this year. So our summer,
game of the year.
Winter. Totally. And one of the first. So there's, when I looked up the game, you've got Ollie Frog Toad Skater IGN, Ollie Frog Toad Skater IGN Africa, and then Toady Hawk, the YouTube video by my best mate Sam Tabor.
Good. Toady Hawk.
Very good. Toady Hawk.
Very good. The last thing I've got is Ready Player 2. I've been reading the book, and it is just as awful as I was expecting.
Wow, I'm shocked that you've been reading it.
I'm trying to get through every book I own that I haven't read yet.
You own that book?
Yeah, I bought it at launch. I was like, I'll read this, and then I just never did.
Right, okay.
Because I read the original, and I was like, I'll see what's up. Instantly has the worst premise. Like
amazing.
Within 3 pages, I was like, oh man, why did I start this thing?
So I'm gonna love this book.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's I assume the middle book. I'm sure he'll write Ready Player 3 at some point.
Yeah.
It's like instantly like, ooh, we're the dark and moody one. It's like, okay.
Right, okay.
Like instantly, at least the like spark of charm that the first one had, it was like fun adventure. Straight away, this one's like, everything's bad now. It's okay.
No.
All right, let's get through this man that is melancholic and internalized all of his anger already in the other book where he's constant. It's like, oh man, I would say the references are less, and then he'll have like a page that is just reference. And I'm like, okay.
Right. I was about to ask, is it still just 80s stuff?
Yeah.
They haven't like progressed to the 90s.
No, they're scraping the barrel as well. There's some weird shit in this.
They've used it up now. Yeah, interesting.
But it's the same. So if you enjoyed the first book, you'll enjoy this one. But
yeah, cool.
And they're easy fucking reads because they're nothing.
Yeah.
They're so nothing.
Yeah, so, I'm shocked you're reading it.
Yeah, Yeah,
But
well, I'm
fair
trying to
enough
get...
if you just want to get through all the books.
Yeah, I'm trying to get through all my books so I can chuck them out. Or trade
Yeah, I'll
them to
do-
salvos or something.
Yeah, I'll do that one day.
All of your books. Mm-hmm. Read your vinyls.
Definitely gonna happen. Should.
There's I
way.
had a look at the TV guide. There was nothing going on this week, so there's no TV guide. So that's the end of the podcast.
No movies? When's Barbie out?
July 21st. You know, a while away.
That's so far away from the thing.
Yeah. Well, they're
the
doing a
heck?
world tour, so they started the tour now.
Yeah,
so it'll
right.
finish in the places they need to be. There was a
Crazy.
Ryan Gosling video that played because Gosling wasn't here. The Barbies came here. The Kens went to Canada.
Amazing. Goods.
And there's a great video that he recorded, and he was like, we had a conversation, and she was like, well, I grew up in Australia, so I'll go to Australia, you go to your homeland. And I was like, well, I kind of probably have lived there for more months than you have in the last 10 years, because I was there for 9 months. So
Yeah.
really, I would consider myself an Australian citizen over you, but that's
True.
fine.
True. It's insane that he was here for so long and you didn't meet him.
Not once. Not once.
That's crazy.
Hopefully he'll be back for the Fall Guy premiere.
Yeah. That'd be
I
sick.
assume he'll be here for that.
Oh man, you're gonna meet him one day. You have to.
That has to. But the thing is, it's similar to like Emma Stone. I'm like, what the fuck do I take? I have so much of you.
Yeah, true.
What goes with me? Like, do I get a nice guys thing signed? Because then that means like, that's not half of a signature. Well, it is, because if I ever met Russell Crowe, I can get the other half signed. But or do I get a La La Land thing signed? Because then I've got half of that. So if I ever meet Emma Stone, which one? What happens?
Yeah. Or do you take someone that'll get nothing signed? Take like Josh.
Yeah. True.
Get him to sign one of your things.
He bought a Barbie doll and didn't see Barbie, and I feel really bad for him. He's also sitting outside my house currently.
Joshy.
So
Is he? Right,
yeah.
we gotta wrap this up.
We've got to wrap this up. Things on the channel, there'll probably be a stream from someone. It might be Josh and Ben, might be Willem, Josh, there might be just Ben.
Could be.
Throw Ben into the open.
Who's to say? Yeah.
See what they do.
It's gonna be just Ben.
Along with, I'm sure, another Herillion, if that hasn't already come out, probably the day of recording.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe
should be
out
out. Should be out. Yeah. Today or tomorrow at time of recording.
Yeah.
And there may be one, maybe two, hopefully one, perhaps episodes of that left. So there's a little
see.
sizzle for you.
Oh, I feel warm from the sizzle. And there's probably other stuff that'll happen this week. But until the next time, I have been Will.
I have been Josh.